I knew first about the Excelsior Club as a little boy.
Excelsior was all the rage when I moved here, but I was too young to get into Excelsior.
The historic Excelsior Club is a place natives and longtime Charlotteans know very well.
Well, it's hard not to hear about the Excelsior Club. Being a student at Smith, we always were looking for some places to go or things to do. And sometimes even as an 18, 19-year-old, we would sneak down to the historic Excelsior Club, try to get in.
As I came back in '69 as a young adult and barely old enough to go into the Excelsior Club, but I got in because I knew Jimmy.
The Excelsior Club exists today thanks to a man by the name of Jimmy McKee. In 1944, Jimmy purchased this home off Beatties Ford Road, where he then opened the Excelsior Club, Charlotte's first African-American social and nightclub.
It was on the Green Book, so visitors, when they couldn't go to any other clubs or hotels or restaurant back during desegregation, came here to the historic Excelsior Clubs.
Jimmy created the Excelsior Club as a safe space for Charlotte's black professionals to enjoy.
They were the ones who were with Jimmy in the founding, and they were the ones who were with Jimmy in the periods of segregation, because they couldn't go to the city club uptown, or they couldn't go to the Mecklenburg County Club, or they couldn't go to an emerging Quail Hollow Country Club. So what they had was the Excelsior Club.
Over the next several decades, as the club expanded, famous black entertainers like Sam Cooke and Louis Armstrong graced the Excelsior stage, and the club soon became a stomping ground for politicians on the campaign trail. By the early 1980s, Jimmy was diagnosed with cancer. By that point, many were interested in purchasing the club, but before he passed in 1985, he decided to sell to a few men he trusted and had sponsored events at the club.
Because of my relationship with him and his wife, as well as the relationship the three other guys and I had with Jimmy, because we had sponsored a Friday night event there for 3 years, Jimmy decided to sell us the club.
Ken Kuntz was one of 3 men who bought the Excelsior Club from Jimmy. His goal was to register the club as a historical landmark, which he was able to accomplish during his time as co-owner. Over the next several decades, the club changed ownership hands numerous times, and by 2016, the Excelsior Club had closed its doors to the public.
So in 2015, 2016, I wanted to be involved with Excelsior. I wanted to own the Excelsior, but it wasn't the time for me then to purchase the Excelsior.
Now, 10 years later, Sean Kennedy, a Charlotte developer, finally owns the Excelsior Club and has plans to rebuild and reopen with a new vision.
What we're bringing back is that safe space to the city of Charlotte where people can gather, exchange ideals.
Kennedy and his business partner Tim Sedema plan to replicate the Excelsior Club's key historic features and introduce some new elements, like a restaurant and a green space for community gatherings. Kennedy also wants to bring back live entertainment and allow the space to exist as a living museum. He expects this revitalization to bring more diverse jobs to the Beatties Ford corridor.
The city poured in $1.5 million. The county did the same, $1.5 million, for a total of $3 million towards a $9 million renovation.
District 2 Council member Malcolm Graham says the city's investment isn't just about revitalizing the Excelsior Club, but allowing the Beatties Ford Road corridor a chance to thrive with new opportunities.
We know that this corridor had a history of tradition and legacy, and that tradition is coming back.
The Excelsior Club is a place full of rich history. And Kennedy is excited to add to it when the doors of the Excelsior Club open once again.
That's the goal, restore the lighthouse back to Beatties Ford Road, and I'm hoping it brings our people back to Beatties Ford Road and other people that have never experienced Beatties Ford Road back to Beatties Ford Road to experience what this city has to offer and what this corridor has to offer.